Welcome to the Transcendent Money Podcast, a safe space where co-creators of the new earth discover the power of transcendent financial living, a new personal economics paradigm based on the consciousness of oneness. Do you believe you are the change you want to see in the world and that change starts with you? And do you believe we need a new economic system that works for all of humanity and the planet? Hi, this is Carmen Ortiz, and I am a conscious certified financial planner and the host of Transcendent Money Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to share with you 3 of the key principles of a regenerative economy and how to apply them to your personal finances so that you can experience holistic financial well-being in your life and be empowered to support and to serve humanity and the planet. So again, I welcome you to the Transcendent Money Podcast. This is a radical conversation. And if you find it of value, please share it widely with your friends, family, and associates so that together we can create the transcendent financial living global movement. Before I zero in on the 3 key principles that I want to talk about today, I want to go over the 8 principles of a regenerative economy. These were created by John Fullerton of the Capital Institute, for which we are deeply grateful. And the 8 principles are: in right relationship, views wealth holistically, innovative, adaptive, and responsive, empowered participation, honors place and community, the edge effect abundance, robust circulation, and seeks balance. So how do these 8 principles sound to you? Now, I studied these principles as a student of the Capital Institute, a course on regenerative economics guided by John Fullerton, and these principles represent a before and an after in my life as a conscious certified financial planner. And in this episode, I want to talk to you, I want to share these 3 principles, which are really my favorite. We've got in right relationship, views wealth holistically, and empowered participation. So let's start with in right relationship. This principle emphasizes the interconnectedness of all life forms and the importance of maintaining a harmonious balance within the ecosystem. And when it comes to managing our personal finances in our own households, this principle can serve as a guiding force in making decisions that not only benefit us individually, but also contribute positively to the greater community and to our environment. Just as damage to one part of the interconnected web of life can harm every other part, reckless and unsustainable financial practices can have detrimental effects on our own well-being and the well-being of others. So embracing the principles of reciprocity and mutualism in our financial decisions, we can strive to create a more regenerative economy within our own households, within our communities, and the planet. And this could mean prioritizing consumption habits, supporting ethical businesses, and investing in initiatives that promote social and environmental justice. Ultimately, by recognizing our interconnectedness with all beings and the planet, we can take steps towards building a more balanced and resilient financial future for ourselves and our communities. Okay, and in this principle of in right relationship, I take it even further with regard to financial planning or personal finances. And it has to do with who are the right people in the right institutions for us to relate to. Right? How do we choose an institution where we keep our money safe? In other words, where we do our savings. Do we choose a corporate bank, one of the big banks in the United States, so that we can feel safe? Or do we go to our local community and open our checking account and our savings account with a local credit union? As an example, right? In right relationship. The other is, how about our financial advisors? Who are going to advise us with regard to our money? Is it going to be a cousin? Is it going to be an uncle? Is it going to be the financial advisor who's our neighbor who came over to talk to us about our money? How do we choose the person that we are actually going to trust in guiding us with our money? That would be a wise or right relationship, right? So these are just two examples. There are more, like example, who are we buying from? Like, where do we buy our food? Do we buy it from a local food market? We buy organic products that are grown in our local community, or do we go to the biggest supermarket in town? Right? So in right relationship, I would connect it with our financial planning needs, with our consumption needs, with our savings needs. What about if we want to borrow money? Who do we borrow money from? That would be a right relationship, a question, right? Who do we borrow money from? Do we go again to a local credit union, or do we go to a big bank, or do we go to an online bank that we have absolutely no relationship with? And so this is the principle of in right relationship as I bring it closer and closer to financial planning and financial services. Okay, now let's continue with principle number 2 in this conversation, and that will be holistic view of wealth. Now, the holistic wealth principle of a regenerative economy emphasizes the idea that true wealth is not just about financial assets, but also includes capital such as our social capital, our cultural capital, our experiences, that's called experiential capital, and even spiritual capital, all of which rest on the foundations of a healthy ecosystem. We tend to, when we talk about wealth, we tend to think about our wallets, right? And how much money we have saved, and how much money we have invested, our assets, etc. Our financial wealth. And that's just one aspect of wealth, right? Which is called capital, financial capital. But again, there are 8 types of capital, and I mentioned some of them here, and they're all extremely, extremely important. And the interconnectedness between these capitals, what's the connection between our financial capital and our social capital, for example? I mean, the more people we know, for example, if we are a creator and we're building a business, the more networks we belong to, the more we relate socially, probably the more income our business is going to generate, right? Just because of our social capital. Same thing with experience. There's also another capital called knowledge capital. And and particularly in these times, our focus, I believe, needs to be more balanced. We need to move from financial capital to, for example, knowledge capital, being constantly learning about ourselves and acquiring new skills, okay, so that we can serve the way we want to serve the world in a more powerful and prosperous and abundant way. Okay, then when it comes to managing our personal finances, you can apply this principle of holistic view of wealth by taking a holistic approach, not just to your wealth, but to your life. By considering all these forms of capital that I've mentioned, you can create a more balanced and a more sustainable financial strategy. So, for example, instead of solely focusing on increasing your financial capital through investments or savings, you can also invest in your social relationships, your cultural experiences, and your personal growth. So again, holistic view of wealth where we balance our lives among all of our capitals. So by harmonizing these different forms of wealth, we can create a more resilient financial situation for ourselves that is not solely dependent on our monetary assets, just like in regenerative economics, where the whole is only as strong as the weakest link. So managing personal finances holistically can help us build a strong foundation for our overall well-being. I would truly, truly appreciate your comments on everything that I'm sharing with you here today and with these three principles. Which one is resonating more with you, and how do you see it apply in your life? And what changes do you see that you can implement in your life starting today as you look into these principles and seek to apply them? And we're going to conclude this with principle number 3, which is empowered participation. So when it comes to our own money, personal finances, this principle of empowered participation can be applied in a variety of ways. For example, you can empower yourself by actively participating in your own financial planning and decision-making process. By taking ownership of your financial future, you will ensure that your unique needs are being met and your overall financial well-being is at the center of your transcendent financial plan. And I call it a transcendent financial plan because that's what we believe here in Transcendent Financial Living and in this Transcendent Money podcast. Right? In our world, we talk about transcendent financial planning. Transcendent financial planning is a planning process where you are making the best choices that you can make with regard to your personal money, your personal finances, in a way that supports your own holistic well-being today and in the future, while empowering you to serve humanity and the planet. That's the distinction between transcendent financial planning and traditional financial planning. Because traditional financial planning is egocentric, right? It focuses on your needs and your needs only. And it might focus only on your money, not even on your life. It may not even address your life goals. It's just focused on your money goals. That's typically the way it goes with financial advisors and traditional financial planning. So transcendent financial planning is a new paradigm. And if you stay with us here, you're going to learn all about it. Now, continuing with this empowered participation principle, this principle can also mean actively engaging with the larger economic system in a way that not only benefits yourself, but also contributes to the health of the economy as a whole. This could include supporting ethical and sustainable investments, investing in socially responsible companies and projects, initiatives, and advocating for policies that promote economic justice and equality. So again, it's all about self-empowerment, you connecting to your own power, understanding that you can actually, with your agency, take care of your holistic well-being, including your financial well-being. Okay. And then overall, by embodying this principle of empowered participation in our personal finances, we can not only improve our financial health, our own financial health, but also contribute to the greater health and the well-being of all. When I say all, I'm talking humanity and the planet. So to conclude in this episode, we are addressing 3 of the key principles of a regenerative economy, which are in right relationship, having a holistic view of our wealth, and empowered participation. Again, if this has been of value to you, please share this podcast widely. And you can go to transcendentfinancialliving.com. This is also available on our blog in text format. And we just want to to connect with us in some way, find the best way that you can join our Transcendent Financial Living Collective and participate in creating the global movement, Transcendent Financial Living. I thank you for joining us in this episode, and I look forward to your continued participation in future episodes. Go ahead and subscribe to our podcast and to our blog posts. And I look forward to continuing to connect with you in this way and in many other ways. With this, I say goodbye and blessings. Carmen Ortiz here, signing off. You have been listening to Transcendent Money. Thank you for joining us today. Subscribe to our podcast and visit us at www.transcendentfinancialliving.com.